I'm getting a little bit organized. Happy New Year, first of all. It is January 1st, 2026. And we're going to talk about, first of all, you're going to watch me eat my last set of carbs. This is my first meal of the day, actually. It is 6:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to enjoy this delicious, carb-friendly, junk foody meal before I go back to my carnivore lifestyle tomorrow. We'll talk more about that at another time. But I want to talk about goal setting for 2026. So my name is Tiara Stephanie. Welcome to my channel. I am a licensed life and health insurance agent, and that is how I began my career or journey in sales. Mm, mm, napkins. Oh, so that's how I began my first introductory or taste of like entrepreneurship, right? That was like in 2017. And what I did was, first of all, I fell on my face a lot of times, and it's something that they say when you first start out, like you gotta eat dirt. I ate a lot of dirt. And one thing about that is they hype you up and they tell you like, you get your license, congratulations, you're a business owner. Congratulations, here's your ticket to $1 million. They paint this picture of how easy it is, the potential, and they just hype you up. They just blow a lot of smoke up in your ass, right? Then you go to these conventions, and we call it drinking the Kool-Aid. We call the conventions drinking that Kool-Aid, or they'll say, "Oh, you been drinking that Kool-Aid, huh?" Because they really gaslight you. And I don't like using that word, but they really pump you up in these conventions, and they bring up these millionaire agents and their downlines, and you see, after a while, you feel like you're in a Twilight Zone. So I got into, I used what I knew for different. Does anybody put Doritos in their sandwich? My grandfather, he um he used to own a bodega on Jamaica Avenue in Queens, and his daughter, my aunt, was the one who told me how to put Doritos in my sandwich. So I felt like, I don't know, I felt like again I was in a Twilight Zone, right? Every agency is different though. And that was me as a newbie. When you're new, like you soak up everything, you're a sponge, you want to learn everything, you let people um again gaslight you. But then I realized my my talent or my asset is in helping other agents, right? So since I knew how the industry was, I knew that it was cutthroat. I knew that it was all hype. I knew that I just knew the game. So I started to train other agents how to be ready to sell, how to get rid of that noise, how to be I was real, like I was honest. I wasn't trying to paint a picture. I wasn't trying to sell a dream or anything like that. So I started selling and then I would build up other agents and do training. So I really got into people building and this was before COVID. So before COVID, I was a field agent. I was able to go into the client's home to get the sale, which was much easier for me. But after COVID, the industry pivoted and I had to learn how to sell over the phone via Zoom. You can buy leads, but I don't like cold calling. I don't care what nobody tells you. They say like, "Oh, you're not cold calling because they ask for the information." If it's more than 7 days within the time they ask for the information, it feels like a cold call. They don't know you're calling. They don't remember they filled it out. They probably don't. They probably clicked something by mistake. 9 times out of 10, they have no idea what you're talking about. So you have to persuade them. So I had to learn how to use social media to market, to get clients, to get sales. Then I got licensed from other states. Now, back then they didn't call it digital marketing, they just called it networking. And I like to term networking over digital marketing only because digital marketing is now taking over a life of its own. And now it's like this get rich quick scheme. And now people think that I don't know, it's just not, but I prefer network or network marketing or something like that. Um, so that's what we did. You build relationships. You like, even though I couldn't go to people's houses face to face, you create content. You go to businesses, you shake hands, you find other ways. So now that it's a new year and I'm well in my experienceness and my years of sales and digital marketing and network marketing, I now have a new set of goals for 2026. I created a community that is going to teach people how to become everything for their business. Here's the thing, when you first start out, you have to wear many hats. And you are going to come across people who are already established in the industry that you want to be in or people that you admire. And they're going to say things like, you need a mentor, you need pay for ads, you um need a virtual assistant, pay for someone to manage your email, pay for someone to engage. These are all great things, but the reality is, if you can't afford to do that, then you have to do it yourself. You have to be efficient, you have to learn. And as you grow and you make money, you put your money back into your business. Once you get to a certain point, you are going to start paying for help little by little. The more you see that you pay for help, is going to free up your time to to live your life, to be happy. And it's also going to scale your business on like exponential because now you have more hands. But now that you are, if you are new, or even if you're not new, if you've been in there but you haven't made the return of investment or the profit that you would like to see, because let's say you make $5,000 a month in your business, that's great. But let's say all of your living expenses are $4,500, 4,000, you know, $4,999, and you make just enough to pay your bills, and that's perfectly fine. But you want to make more. You can't afford to hire help. But I can guarantee that if you learn strategy and time management, you do the proper daily, weekly, and monthly activities for and quarterly activities for your business, you can make six figures a year by yourself as a solopreneur. Once you hit that first, once you start making $10,000 a month consistently, when I say consistently, I mean 3 to 6 months, then you start paying for help. But you can do that. How? You pay for systems. You need ChatGPT Plus. I believe it's called Plus. Yeah. Not Pro, Plus. ChatGPT Plus is only $22 every month. Canva Pro is $20 every month. My community, $49 every month. Okay, you're gonna shift your mindset. First and foremost, you have to shift your mindset because if you don't believe you're gonna do it, or if you cannot get out of your own way, then you're not gonna do it. Uh, Don't even waste your money if you're not ready. Like if you're not ready to get out of where you're at and to accelerate your process, don't even bother. But if you are, join it. I have a challenge coming up starting January 12th, and it will end on February 10th. It is a 30-day challenge. It is meant to jumpstart you, to kickstart you, to get you active on social media. You just pick a platform. It's going to be broken down into 7 days. So it's going to be 7 days posting, 7 days creating content, 7 days storytelling, selling in your stories, and then 7 days of engaging. So you pick your platform. Those four things we're going to focus on for 30 days. That's free work that you're doing, meaning you're not paying for anything. This is all organic. You're not paying for ads, you're not paying for anything. You should pay for those. Before you join, I would advise you don't have to. You can start with the free ChatGPT and you can start with the free version of Canva. As you continue, you're gonna see that you're gonna want to get those upgrades. Okay. So for 2026, if you want to grow your business or start a business, I implore you to join the Business Resource Hub. There is the shift module again, which is for you to shift your mindset. And then I have a content expansion module. I am showing you how to take one sentence, one idea, one hook, one caption, and expand it into multiple types of content. Reels, written posts, carousels, and then of course there'll be more. There will be story templates for you to do, as in you're filling it out with your business information. You're gonna learn how to speak to your target audience. You're gonna learn how to extract them by leveraging other people's communities, by leveraging other followers. You're gonna learn how to find where your people are, where your audience at. You're gonna understand what transformation you provide. You're gonna have clarity. You're gonna make sure your prices are right. They're not too low and they're not too high. You're going to learn how to track local clientele if you do face to face. Let's say you're a nail tech or you're an esthetician or you do something, again, you provide some type of face to face service, you have an office somewhere. You're going to learn how to get people from your community because remember, you can only get but a certain amount of radius from around you, and that's fine. So join the community, take your business seriously, okay? And start off 2026 by accomplishing your goals. You want to set yourself up, okay? So I'm going to enjoy these carbs for the rest of the day.